Hello and welcome to the Natural Way of Life. This video is about my personal experience of my 1 year in numerology. So in numerology, we go through something called personal years. So that will be a vibration for the year I calculate from birth date to birth date, okay? And that is like a theme for that particular year, and that goes through a cycle of 1 to 9. So I'm going to start by sharing my experience of my 1 year. So it is also connected to the root chakra, okay? A 1 year is about new starts, new beginnings, like moving forward in the direction that you want to set the tone ahead for the next 9 years. So I'm just sharing from my experience, but as you can see here, as it's connected to the base, which is our sense of safety, security, our family, our ancestors, it may be common if you're not in alignment in a one personal year for problems listed here on the left, blockages, in that lower root chakra area. I can definitely relate. Legs, feet, rectum, lower body. Yes, all those kind of things, fears around all types of things, not feeling grounded, not feeling connected, okay? So I'm definitely feeling that, and obviously I'm, over halfway into this theme, so I'm definitely seeing it. And I have to admit, like, my 9 personal year before was really, really traumatic and difficult, which isn't uncommon in a 9 personal year. And that's kind of a time for endings, letting go of emotions and things that are no longer serving, and then moving into this 1 year. So I've definitely felt, the root chakra element on the physical side of things. Obviously then in this image you can see about healing that, so like the red, the foods, the gardening, which yes, I need to do more of and more time in nature. But the hard thing is sometimes when we know things, but then it's implementing it and putting it into practice, because it's like I've been knowing it, but for some reason I've felt blocked and not as able to do that. Which is obviously showing for me areas of healing that are coming up. But depression has been a huge theme throughout my whole life, but I'm really kind of feeling this challenging element in this 1 year, because it's almost like what my mind wants to be doing or where that wants to be going versus where my body is, and it's really hard to get that blend of the two together. So I'm also like, I can see the vision and the feeling of new starts. However, I'm actually kind of unsure on which direction to go in. Like, I know there's things I maybe want to do or achieve, but again, I'm kind of feeling just a bit stuck and blocked on how I'm going to get there. So me guys, in my videos I always share honestly, because there's no such thing as the perfect person, and that is one of my tendencies, to be a perfectionist. And unfortunately, like, life isn't that. Like, yes, I have my YouTube channel where I love to share and help others, but my life is no means perfect, nor am I. So I definitely feel new starts, new beginnings. I've had ideas of new things I want to do. I've had new life enter my life. Magical little poor soul has chosen me, so that's incredible. But there is still a feeling of not quite belonging, not knowing where I'm meant to go, kind of knowing where I'm going to go, but not how I'm going to get there. So I do feel this fear is a huge factor, which I'm always preaching, not to be in fear, because it lowers your vibration and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, we all experience a load of different emotions. So I'm definitely on all fronts of life having thoughts and feelings of like a new direction. I'm wanting change, but just not sure of how I'm going to get that change or how that change is going to happen. But I can definitely feel change coming, and it is important in a 1 personal year to start something new and trust the magic of beginnings, because this is basically the next 9 year cycle we're in, is how it's going to happen. And yes, it's important to note as well that from a 9 personal year, where it's like a lot of endings and conclusions, then a new chapter begins. Now these are obviously themes, okay, and they do just trying to think how I can word this best. So they will vary from person to person, and they will vary on loads of other factors depending on like where you are in your life, what's happening in your life, you know, your life path number, your soul urge number, your destiny numbers, loads of other things in your chart in numerology. But it is generally a theme, okay? So this one energy, it's about a new start, okay? So that is something that, yes, I'm struggling with. It's also about connecting, I guess, to our ancestors, and ancestors have been a huge theme for me over, you know, even in my dream realm, I've been having a lot of visitations from ancestors, reminiscing almost, like remembering times with them, going back over old family pictures, and I'm wanting to know more about my ancestral heritage, my ancestral line, and my ancestors. And I know that is something that has come up in conversation a couple of times. You may also find family can be a bit of a thing in a one personal year, because it is about our base and our foundation, and like I say, where we come from. Family things or issues sometimes can come up, and yeah, there's always a struggle with family stuff for sure. I'm sure a lot of us feel that. There is also, I do feel this pull as well to like go into nature. I want to be in nature. I feel so much better when I'm in nature, whereas when I spend all my time inside, I just feel too overwhelmed and literally like a prisoner. It's kind of crazy. But it is important, if you can, to have some kind of grounding practice, whether that be just putting your feet on the earth, being in nature more, because as listed here, it's going to have a whole load of health benefits. Now, in one personal years as well, it's not uncommon for people to maybe start a new job, maybe move home. It could be something they've been wanting to do for a long time, but often in one personal years, those themes of things can come up. Even for myself, like I'm 100% relating to that. They're things like I want, but like I say, I'm just not sure on how the change is going to execute itself coming forward. You know what I mean? And I have been starting new things in my one personal year too. So like I say, new hobbies, new interests, that is definitely a theme coming up for me for sure. I do feel a need as well, definitely, to kind of connect back to my body and do some more healing work, because I'm feeling very like trapped in the skin that I'm in, if that's even a word, clouded by a lot of heavy thoughts, heavy energy, emotions, feelings, and sometimes it's like having a channel. And I think it always helps when you have a strong spiritual foundation and base, and something positive to channel your energy into, whether that be a hobby, a cause, you know, but the energy's got to get channeled somewhere. But also exercise is a huge thing, and that's something I haven't been able to really push forward with much, to be honest, which is getting me down a lot. Even as I'm recording it, I feel like I want to cry because it's really upsetting me. But if you can, in a one personal year, that is something incredible. If you could get into some type of grounding practice, energy, exercise, you're gonna really fly and push through. So although I'm sharing my personal experiences, I'm also giving insight into this energy and theme, just so I can obviously help others navigate that energy through the year. Because when we have an idea of that energy and the theme that's ahead for the year, we can best plan things, you know. So, you know, a good time to start something is a 1 year. Like, for instance, when I was in a 7 personal year, that is a really inwards time and a time of reflection and of your soul and wisdom and learning. And that was completely right for my 7 year. I will go through the cycles as I feel called to do for them, for the different years. I also want to touch on planting your seeds. So literally planting your ideas and inspiration for what it is you want to grow and flourish in life. And I have literally been planting seeds in my garden not long ago, so it's kind of relevant. When I saw this picture, I was like, I hope mine are going to grow this well. Now, I will also touch on some of the feelings and emotions that can come up in a one personal year, and I'm kind of feeling this like more than ever. So my mind, I have these ideas, I have inspirations of things I want to do. However, I'm finding a huge theme, and let me know in comments if you relate, is actually a feeling of really deep sadness and loneliness that's coming up in this 1 year, because it's almost like the one that stands alone, is like having to do everything on your own and not having support or help from others. Or maybe you do get elements of that, but maybe it isn't meeting your expectation, or you need more support. So definitely, if you have support around you, don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask for support where you need it, and you haven't got to do everything on your own. However, like I say, in my life, I am feeling a huge feeling of, everything is being done alone as usual. That's quite a theme for me. But it's definitely, I'm noticing it more than other years, like feeling it more of a struggle. Like even little things like I was decluttering my house, getting rid of loads of stuff. But on my own, there was only so much physically I could do. Then I had to ask for help, and it's, I guess, learning as well where we can delegate. So even if you haven't got a support system, right, where could you get that help, or ask for that help, or pay for that help, kind of thing. So it's thinking outside that box a little bit as well. And even just having some time to meditate and get clear on a path and direction that you want to be able to move forwards in. So as I said, because I don't feel so grounded in my body, I'm doing a lot of escapism, which isn't an intentional, hey, I'm going to escape. It's like almost a learned habit. I would say this is probably quite common for people that have been through trauma, or also probably on like a 6 or 7 life path too, because they're those higher chakras that are, the more air elements, and that is like it's an escape from reality. So being in my mind, going to other places, or binge watching series just to escape from maybe the nothingness, the stillness, the having to just be, or the being alone. So I have a lot of self-awareness, and that's a huge thing. So that has been another struggle in this 1 year, is definitely a huge loneliness feeling. I'm not gonna lie. And then the feeling and the pains within the body that are correlating to those lower chakras. And I have to laugh because it's true, even down to one, and I'm going to read you it from a healing book and what it means. And if anyone else relates, you let me know in the comments, because sharing is caring, right? So back to this physical manifestation of, again, just to show you sometimes blocked energy. So it begins with the letter H, right? And H is to do with like your personal power that kind of lead from anger, frustration, power issues. And one common one you may find if you're in a one personal year, because I'm not the only one, because I study a lot of people's numbers, and I've heard this coming up multiple times to different people, is hemorrhoids, right? So yeah, not such a nice thing to talk about, but let's be real. And the interesting thing is the vibration with that is a 6 energy. So also if you're a 6 life path, it may not be a coincidence if you find in your life you go through phases of having this. Okay, and it is a pattern of unrealistic expectations, ego-related motives, and lack of movement due to indecisiveness. That's a huge thing. I'm so indecisive. So I can sit and have all these ideas and expectations and things I want in life, and then suddenly I'm then not doing anything about it, or I feel unable to. Then I'm indecisive, and then hey, it causes this blockage. And the challenge basically for this person is to stop trying to do what they're maybe not ready to do. And also more that impacts if you've got a 4 as a major challenge number, which I believe I have, in an individual's chart, it increases the probability of hemorrhoids, as this individual has a tendency to procrastinate, struggle to maintain control, and then display constrictive, even, let me get the words, behavior patterns. How crazy is that? Also, there is like spiritual hemorrhoids, which can be relating to your spiritual journey too. You get this surge of energy for accelerated spiritual growth and opportunities to fulfill that spiritual mission, but then you don't move forward with it, or you refuse or deny it, maybe because of lack of confidence, and then obviously that energy that's downloaded from spirit is trapped, and then it has to try and find a way out. So if you maybe feel that more relates, the advice it does give in this healing book is, apologize to spirit, say a prayer that maybe you're not ready, and ask for their support and help, and then hopefully in a couple of days that disappears. Now that has always pretty much worked for me, and I always find often when you acknowledge the problem, it then helps and it kind of shifts that energy then that's been stuck. So that's why I am very much all about, you know, trying the holistic healing approach too, and acknowledging what we're feeling, what we're thinking, and thoughts and emotions that come up. So far this 1 year has been a struggle, but I shared a little bit of what's going on for me. I hope it makes sense, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will continue to bring you some more videos to help you master your life. Lots of love.